sharing today's video with you because I'm going to be showing you all a hack of mine that I've been using for a while that I've never shared publicly before. So this is a video all about how I use Facebook groups related to my niches in order to either find potential products, run polls in the potential niches that I'm looking at, or how I can use these Facebook groups to promote the products that I sell. Now, this is a video of if you don't know, I am a co-host on Seller Sessions podcast. This is a video that I put out yesterday live, and then I am putting it on my YouTube channel today. So it's also from the Seller Sessions podcast as well. If you're new here, welcome to my channel. My name is Sharon Evan, and I am an Amazon seller, an Amazon coach. I also help people to find products and develop products, and then ultimately sell their products online. I also have this YouTube channel where I teach people how to do what it is that I do on a daily basis. And I also speak at all sorts of different Amazon and product related summits and events, and I'm a co-host on the Seller Sessions podcast. If you have not yet subscribed to my channel, I highly recommend that you subscribe. I put out there a lot of really in-depth videos, all from my brain, nothing that I've copy and pasted from other channels or anything like that. So if that's something that interests you, I highly recommend that you subscribe to the channel. Before I get into it, I just want to let you know that everything you're going to see in today's video, I actually go really, really in depth with these types of methods in my product research and sourcing course. I have a product research and sourcing course that teaches you how to find potential niches without using softwares in order to find them. We use softwares to find like keywords and things like that and do in-depth market analysis, but not to find the products. How to also then develop those products, and how to ultimately source those products, and how to choose what countries right to source a product from as well. So I have a product research and sourcing course, and I'm going to be putting the link for that down below, and I encourage you to check it out. I also do one-on-one coaching as well with Amazon sellers and product developers, so you're welcome to check out my coaching as well. All right, now without further ado, let's get into the video. Now, I am not speaking about Facebook groups for like reviewers or things like that. You're going to see in a minute because it's going to be in a tutorial form. I'm talking about specifically Facebook groups that are for a specific niche. Okay, so for example, if I'm interested in getting into boho decor, okay, or am I getting into house decor and I'm thinking of like going after products within the boho theme, then I would enter a whole bunch of boho decor related Facebook groups. Those are the types of Facebook groups I'm talking about. I want to make it clear, I'm not talking about finding like promotional Facebook groups and using those. I'm talking about going after Facebook groups where your buyers hang out. If you ever watch my content also outside of Seller Sessions on my YouTube channel, or you're in my group or whatever, then you hear me talk about buyer avatars and being wherever your buyers hang out often. So this is part of the process as well. Okay, so before I share my screen, I want to tell you what this involves. This basically would involve two scenarios. Scenario number one is that you would make a Facebook account specifically for this purpose. So we're not trying to catfish anyone. We're not trying to, we're literally making a fake Facebook account or a Facebook account that isn't necessarily connected to us in order to enter these Facebook groups so that we can use it for different research methods. Or you could use your own Facebook account if you have no problem with it. You just need to also take into consideration that you're also going to have a whole bunch of these Facebook group posts, etc., show up on your feed quite often, and you need to think about whether you want that or not. I'm going to be showing you this from my business Facebook account, but I also have a different Facebook account where I'm in Facebook groups specifically for my niches, which is skincare and cosmetic products and baby niches, and any mummy groups as well. So for the tutorial, I'm going to focus mostly on home decor. I've got one Montessori group and one skincare group, I think. And then I'm going to show you how I would basically use these groups. Now, for some of these groups, in order for you to get into them, you would need to fill out a form. So for example, last year, I spoke often on different podcasts, etc., how I was looking into the nurses niche and selling products specifically for nurses. And I spoke about how I made a fake Facebook account where I was basically a nurse. I know that some people are going to be like, oh, it's so wrong to do it, but I really don't care. It's for research purposes. I wasn't harming anyone. I was really just getting a lot of information about nurses. And sort of seeing what they were talking about, what they were buying, and a whole bunch of different things. I had to go through a questionnaire about nurses. All right, so we're going to get into it. I'm going to share my screen, and then you'll see exactly what it is that I am talking about. So this is example number 1. And I'm going to show you also how the next steps that I would take and where I stopped, and then what would be my next steps. So for example, let's just say that I'm interested in selling in the decor niche, and I'm interested in niching down to boho decor, but I don't know what I want to sell yet. Obviously, if you follow me in any way, you know that I don't use softwares in order to look for products or product ideas. I have my own methods. This is one of them. I have many, many different ways of finding ideas for niches. So I, in this specific example, would join these different Facebook groups. This is one group called Bohome. Right now, this isn't strictly just American. This isn't strictly just Canadian or Australian or whatever. It's worldwide. You can see there's 120,000 people in this group. Some of these groups you'll see I've strategically gone after Australian and New Zealand groups, and I'll explain why later. But for this specific group, it's called Bohome, and it's for boho decor. So what you would do is there's a few different things. One of the things that you can do is you can just start scrolling through. Okay. And you'll see that there's different questions that people are asking. People are putting up photos of things that they've recently purchased, or corners in their houses that they've recently redone, and then you can see and identify certain products. People also then ask for help, or they ask for where you've purchased something, and all sorts of different scenarios. So as I scroll through this group, I found this post from 12 hours ago, and it says, show me your butcher block and all white cabinets or black lowers. Now, I don't know if like butcher block is like a thing in America, or maybe it's a thing and I just like don't use butcher blocks. I didn't really know what it was. So I opened up the comments. I saw there were 82 comments here. And by the way, look at this one over here. Do you guys think that farmhouse looks is going out of style, being replaced by boho, or both? There's 98 answers here. So this is a very, very active group. Anyway, back to the butcher block. So I started to scroll down, and then I was looking at all of these. You can see people are either putting up Pinterest images or their own images. People are speaking about this subject, etc. I can see by clicking on these photos many different styles of butcher blocks. I can see the stuff that they're putting on the countertop above it, etc. Now again, personally, I didn't really know what it was. I mean, I understood that it's probably like, I don't know, an island or something that's got a piece of wood on it, but I still didn't know what it was. I went to Googled it, and then I went to Amazon, and I'll tell you how I got here first. I just typed in the word butcher block space, and then all these different things came up. So I've got butcher block oil was the first thing that came up, butcher block conditioner, countertop table, island, cutting board, kitchen cart, knife set, and contact paper. So I clicked on the first thing, which was butcher oil, just because I didn't really know what to expect or what it was. And you can see here, there's a whole bunch of oils. Now, people that watch seller sessions are usually people that already understand Amazon. So if you already understand Amazon, then you probably already know how to read the BSR. So look at this. This is 658 in kitchen and dining. This is a product that's making like probably hundreds of thousands, if not over 50K a month, right? It's sold specifically by Amazon, but you can see all these different oils. Now, this doesn't mean that I'm interested in buying an oil, selling an oil, but I will say there's not that many. I haven't gone through the next step of checking if these are really, really big brands. I haven't done that yet. But what I did notice was that people were also looking for butcher block cutting boards. So I haven't done any of this research yet. I'm just telling you where this could lead me, and maybe I would be onto something and maybe not, and then I'd continue, right? But I did also go to brand analytics, okay? And I typed in, as you can see, butcher block. And then I saw butcher block, the word is a search frequency rank of 18,000, right? Which means it's a pretty popular product. It's not number one and it's not in the top 100, but it's still a pretty popular product. And then I saw here butcher block oil, 61,000 search frequency rank. So it's not super, super, super popular, and it's not super, super unpopular, but it's a product that is, being searched for. So it opened up my mind up of the next thing I saw here was butcher block cutting board. And then I thought, wouldn't it be interesting if you could sell a butcher block cutting board and bundle it with oil, right? Because when I looked at butcher block oil, I think it was here, even just seeing this video, okay, so I can see that people are buying, because I don't know anything about this niche, I would need to do more research. I can see that people are buying this oil for these types of cutting boards and other things as well, right? I also went and looked on YouTube, and I saw that this is what people use it for. So I could also sell that, bundle it together. Now, this is a big piece of wood. I could possibly look at sourcing something like this from Mexico rather than sourcing it from China, and then I also wouldn't have tariffs. And the oil I could possibly then bring in from the US, and then I'd create the bundle in the US. I don't know how expensive that would be. I'm not taking it to those next steps. I'm just saying that by joining this Facebook group, I found something I didn't really know about, something that looked interesting to me. I went to Google, I went to Amazon, I went to brand analytics, and maybe I'm onto something and maybe not. If I'm not, go back to square one, right? But all of this started with joining this Facebook group. So this is just one example. I could have looked more into it. I could look at other products as well. I could look at the frequently bought with. So for example, let's click on this one. Okay, frequently bought with this, where'd it go? This little, what is it? Wax large block applicator. Okay, I don't really know what that means. Some of you watching this may know what it means. I see there's all sorts of different things here. This is enough for me to possibly look into it. Again, I may be onto nothing and I may be onto something, and it could also open up my mind to other things as well. Okay, but all of this all started from me looking at this Facebook group. I did that prior to starting to record because I wanted to make sure that I'm not wasting time and I've got something ready, but we can also keep going now live. So everything I'm doing from here isn't like I didn't do it before. You can see here, I could just click on the images here to see what it is that I'm looking at. Maybe I want to sell a decor product, but I don't really understand boho decor, right? And I may see something in one of these images, and then I could put that into Google Images and it would give me keywords for what it is, or give me different links for what it is, or I could look these up, and then the next step would be to possibly then go to Amazon and have a look if the niche is saturated or not, and then I could also then go to keywords would be the next step. So this is an example of how you can get ideas for products. This is just one Facebook group and it's specifically around boho. You can do the exact same thing. This is a Facebook group. I hope it comes up. So this is a Facebook group for Montessori. So anything around Montessori. Now, in these types of groups, Montessori is a type of educational system, and there's many, many, many products around Montessori that are sold on Amazon, and then people that don't really know how to niche down may be like, oh, it's so saturated. But there are potential products in every niche if you just know how to look deeper into it. So I don't know if I'm going to be able to find it here, but I was scrolling through this in the middle of the night one night when I couldn't fall asleep through this specific group. And can't actually remember if it was in the Montessori group or if it was another group. But I was scrolling through it, and then I found a woman put up an image. And it doesn't matter how you feel about this. We're not getting emotional. We're talking about products. An image of a chair, a little kid's chair. And it said on it, it was a timeout chair where you put kids in a timeout, but it had like this beautiful loving saying on it. Something along the lines of like something when you're on a timeout, but I still love you, or something like that, okay? There were a whole bunch of different comments on it. Some people absolutely loved the product. Some people were like, oh my God, you shouldn't be putting your child in a timeout. But if you go to Amazon and you look at timeout chairs, there are people that buy the timeout chairs, but specifically what this woman was showing was the decal that she put on the chair. So it's a sticker that she put on the chair, meaning you don't need a specific chair. You can buy any chair, but you put a sticker on it and it makes it a timeout chair. Stickers are super, super cheap to make. You can even print them in America. This is just all sorts of ideas that even though I'm extremely creative, I wouldn't have even known about it. I wouldn't have even thought about it. And it was literally just from going through these Facebook groups. So this is how you can use Facebook groups to get ideas. This specific group, like I said, is a Montessori group. I can, if I want to be lazy and don't really want to like specifically spend a lot of time on it, I could go to photos specifically and look at different photos here of like looking specifically for products. And then I would take that, go to Amazon, and then have a look if there's even potential in that niche. And if there is, I would then move on to either brand analytics or any keyword software like Helium 10. So that is how I use these groups. Another example, so I don't only join Facebook groups that are specifically for the US, even though I sell in the US. I also join Facebook groups from the other side of the world, like Australia and New Zealand, in order to get ideas of something that maybe hasn't become yet super trendy in the US, but there is enough search volume for it for me to be able to get in. But not all the sellers out there have even paid attention to this niche yet. So for example, this is now just me giving an example. It doesn't mean that this is a perfect niche. This is just examples. So I'm in a whole bunch of Facebook groups from like Kmart and IKEA, and here you can also see here, this will be a Kmart and IKEA. Oh, it's the same group. Let's close it. Okay, budget home decor. No, where's the one I'm looking for? Maybe, okay, here, budget home decor and design Australia and New Zealand. Okay, so this is specifically, and there's 65,000 people here. This is specifically for home decor. There's actually one, here it is, home decorating and organization. So I'm also in a whole bunch of home decor and organizational hack groups. So this is just one example. Let's pretend that I was looking into the Lego niche. So I could type in here, for example, Lego. And then I can see a whole bunch of different things that people have given advice on how to store your Lego. So any Lego storage ideas, my 5-year-old got this new hobby. There's only one answer here. But here, hello smart people, how do you organize Lego and toys for 6-year-old boys? There's 29 answers here. I could open up those 29 answers and I could start reading through this. If I'm someone a bit lazy or in a rush, I could wait to look only at the images. Okay, and I can see different ideas here of potential products. So you can see there's lots of photos here, before and after. Okay, that's a before and after, but etc. You guys are getting the point of how you can use these groups. So this is how you can use a group in order to find potential niches. Now, how can we use these groups to run polls? So for example, I made a Facebook account that isn't necessarily mine, or I chose to stick to my specific Facebook account, and I'm in this group. I could have gone in, let's just pretend that I'm looking, I know that there is a big problem and that people don't have where to store their Lego and like storage boxes that look beautiful or whatever. I'm making up a scenario right now. And I could go here and I could have asked this question. Hello, smart people. How do you organize your Lego? In order for people to actually give me ideas, people that actually buy these types of products to give me ideas. The next thing I could do is if I've already got some prototypes or ideas in my head, I could go to a group like this and say, hey, I'm thinking about buying a product similar to this. What do you guys think about this? Or depending on the type of group, you may need to get approval. You could also then say, I'm in the middle of making this product. How would you change it? Right? I've done this before, not in these types of niches. I've done it before in my niches, and I've also done this before with clients' niches, and you can get some really, really great ideas. Now, the difference between going to something like 𝗥𝗢𝗄𝗅 and using something like this is that when you go to 𝗥𝗢𝗄𝗅, which is a great place to go to, it's not necessarily 100% people with buying intent that are your ideal buyer avatars, where in these types of scenarios, these people are basically your buyer avatars as well, that are answering these questions. They chose to answer this question, and they are in this group for whatever the subject is. So if it's a boho decor, they're in the group. So they would have a little bit of not buying intent to buy the product, but they are your ideal buyer avatar. And same thing here. And there's plenty of like really weird Facebook groups as well. There's like Facebook groups for people that do all sorts of different hobbies. There's Facebook groups for people that create all sorts of things. And those are even more like 100% your buyer avatar. So that is how you could run polls. How could you then use these in order to promote your products? So I'm going to go to a Facebook group that I am a part of. Okay, so this is an example of a Facebook group. It's called Skincare and Beauty One-on-One. I'm in a different Facebook account. I am in many of these Facebook groups around skincare and cosmetics because it's also my niches. And you can use these you would reach out to the owner of the group. It depends. You don't have to do this in every group. You need to understand the dynamics of that group. You could reach out to the owner of the group and say, hey, I sell this product and I'd really love to promote it in your group. Many of them will possibly go and look on something like Amazon and see if you already have reviews, etc. Some of them don't care and they'll just want a small payment. It could be $50, for example. And some of them won't ask for anything. They'll just say, hey, awesome, love it, go for it. And you can just promote in their group. Another thing that you can do, and some people won't want to do it and some people won't care about doing it, I personally don't care, is you could say, hey, I've recently used this product and I just wanted to share it with you all. Okay, for example, so we could look through here and just see, let's see if I can find if anyone's done something like that. So this is just an example of a woman saying that she's thankful for the group because she's been using this product and she's showing a before and after. No one can really prove whether she possibly was the owner of the product that she's using and doing it before and after. Like, how could anyone prove that, right? So that's also, and there's 203 comments here. If you've got something like this, you got a before and after, I guarantee you people are going to come in and say, hey, what product is this? What did you use? Right? So these, I'm talking about Facebook groups with really high engagement, not ones that have like 100 people in them. Okay, here, look, this woman just started using this and she's talking about this product. So it's not necessarily salesy. It's more of like, hey, I'm a user and I've used this product. You do this in 10 to 20 groups. It can really help you to also launch your product and also to run all sorts of promotions to get rid of a product that isn't selling well or whatever. Each one of you will take this to a different place. So that is how you can use these Facebook groups to also promote your products. I could have done the same thing, for example, in the boho one. Okay, if I have a really beautiful boho decor product, I could have put it on, let's just say I sell a table runner. I could have put it on a table, put some really beautiful things on it, taken a photo and said, hey, what do you guys think of my new table runner? And then people start asking, oh, where did you buy it from? And then people usually will start putting Amazon links. Right? So that's obviously not just for skincare, it's for all the niches, especially also in hobby niches. I recently found a niche through using my methods. I think it was like it was roller skating niche, but people make all these different accessories for roller skates. And these are products that you don't necessarily need to also bring from a country like China, which is really expensive currently to import from due to shipping costs. These are also small little accessories that could be made locally in the US, even in the UK if you sell in the UK, or possibly you could also make it in surrounding countries like Mexico or something like that. And I found the niche through I think I joined Facebook groups, and then when you join a Facebook group, it shows you other Facebook groups that you may want to join. And then I saw the skater niche, or roller skating niche. And then I found that like people are actually looking into this weird niche on Amazon and Etsy. And there were people that were like freely dropping down Amazon and Etsy, and also their own websites as well. I don't know if you need permission in that group or not. I didn't really check, but this is something that this is a method that I use. I've never shared it publicly before, so you heard it here first. One of my favorite methods. And yeah, I hope that gives you some awesome tips that you can go and then use this for take it to your specific niche and to wherever it fits your current journey right now. That you enjoyed the video. I hope that it will open your mind up to use different types of methods in order to find products, or to run polls, or to even promote your products through these different Facebook groups. I remind you that if you have not yet subscribed to the channel, please do subscribe, and also please do comment below on what you thought about the video. The more you comment, the more it helps me to grow the channel, and I really want to work on growing it again. So please do help me with that, and it'll help me to bring out more videos to you all. If you haven't joined my Facebook group, the Amazon FBA Alphas, you can see my top as well. I encourage you to join the group. There'll be a link to the group down below as well. And if you haven't checked out these videos of mine, make sure to check them out as well. And again, don't forget to subscribe. I'll see you guys all in the next video.